Welcome to my office. The last time I uploaded a video, so much has changed. I think it's only been 2 months, but we've gone on a whirlwind of adventures. So the last time I uploaded a video, I was pretty set on doing weekly vlogs, and because I was living in Cornwall, I thought they would be really nice to show where I live and how beautiful it is, and my routine that I get to go down to the sea every day and go for a swim, and I get to go on these gorgeous walks and runs around some beautiful coastal trail paths. But since then, I now no longer live in Cornwall. I still have a flat there, but I'm really pulled to the place that I am now because my partner lives here and we are now cohabiting, and the original plan was to live in Cornwall, but my flat just isn't suitable for me, and it felt more right to be here in his flat. And you can see that I have turned his gym, or what was his gym, into my office because he lives in a 2-bedroom flat. I only live in a 1-bedroom flat, so it made more sense as well for me to come here because I would then have my own space. So let's go back to Cornwall and living in Newquay. I moved to Cornwall 7 years ago for a relationship. That relationship was chaotic, like pure chaos. And I fell down a bit of a well afterwards with drugs and alcohol, which, if you know me and you follow me on Instagram, I talk about all the time. So you'll know that about me. When I found my own place in Cornwall, which is in Newquay town centre, I was really happy living there because it was in the centre of the town. I was going out all the time, like I live on the road of all the clubs and the bars, and it was great. But 4 years ago I decided to get sober, and for 4 years I've been living in a flat on the roads with the bars and the clubs, at night time having to wear silicone earplugs, and also in the same building as my ex-boyfriend, who is still very heavily involved in that lifestyle. And I had just a lot of friends who were also drinking, which is fine, and I'm not judging my friends, but I really wanted to get away from that lifestyle. And so by continuing to live in the place that I was living in, I was constantly being triggered, and I actually didn't realise how much I was being triggered until I came here and started living here. Originally I was only going to move here temporarily and go back to Cornwall after the summer because it gets a lot busier and so many more people gravitate towards the town, therefore it is louder than it usually is, and it's already pretty loud. So this was going to be a summer temporary thing. It still may be, but because in the first month of living here I just felt my nervous system completely relaxing and not on edge of going to bed at night thinking that I'm going to be woken up because I'm hearing noises, or that people are going to be like running up and down my stairs and slamming doors because I live in a building with a lot of people who are going out and living that lifestyle. Now I'm in an area that is quiet. There is no noise. It is so relaxing, and I think if it wasn't for that, then I would definitely still be in Cornwall. I really love it here, and I feel so much more myself. I feel calmer. I've gotten away from some situations that just weren't for me anymore. And so the weekly Cornwall vlogs of my life in the beautiful seaside countryside, they are no longer going to be here, but we're branching out. Because my job, I am a freelance writer, and so I spend a lot of time in my creative projects staring at a computer screen, fixing words together like a little puzzle piece, which I fucking love. I also wanted to branch out and maybe do some video journalism stuff because I know for a fact, having been in the industry for a couple of years now, that written journalism is moving towards video journalism, and I'm not one to stick with something that is dying out. Like, I want to move with the times, and I want to also have the best career that I can have for me and work with what the world is doing and move with that change. So here I am videoing myself. I mean, it was inevitable anyway, because I really love this form of content. Like, I love watching people's little chatty YouTube videos. I love researching stuff, and as much as I love reading, I also love consuming content in the video and photo form. So here we are, and what you can expect going forward on this channel is I'm still going to do vlogs, and they will just be slightly different. It's probably going to be just me in my office working and eating my healthy meals, like suggesting podcasts that I'm listening to. I'm really into self-development and spirituality, so if you like those things, then you're in the right place. I also want to do like book recommendations. I've read so many books on self-help and so many books on spirituality, and now I'm branching out with like fiction, which is a lot more fun and you get through the books quicker. Yeah, I'm reading a lot more fiction. You can get through fiction so much quicker than you can get through self-help. So yeah, I want to do book recommendations. I also have chronic pain, and I've lived with dysmenorrhea, which essentially means very bad period pain, for a long time. I had 2 abortions when I was in my druggy phase of life, so obviously I felt like I had to do that because I was chained to a substance that I felt I couldn't escape from. And since then my periods have got worse. Like, my periods have always been bad. I've always felt period pain, and it's been horrible pain. But since my abortions, my relationship with my body changed, and there was a lot of shame that I was holding on to, and I think that that just made the whole experience a lot worse. And I developed PMDD as well. I don't feel like I have PMDD anymore, and I'm really skeptical of holding on to any identity that is to do with pain, even though I have just so chronic pain, but I think that one is quite an obvious one for me. So yeah, I want to talk more about that journey that I've gone on and what I'm living with now, which is real excruciating pain that makes me cry because it's so painful. Like 2 days ago I was laying on my sofa crying and like in just so much pain because I had this like stabbing pain in my side, and I am trying all of the holistic methods that I can. I'm now starting to cut out sugary things. Everyone who also knows me knows that I love iced lattes and the caramel syrup in the iced latte, and that's just something that I'm not going to do anymore because I really don't want to live with this pain. And I'm on this journey of trying to heal my physical symptoms. I feel like I've done a lot mentally, but they are interlinked, and continue to do things for my mindset and for my mental health. But I'm also leaning more into like massages, and I had a TMJ massage the other month and that was really interesting, and meditation and just more things to like relax my body. I also will be just doing little chatty videos like this and life updates, and anything that I learn from my life that I think is valuable to someone, I want to be able to give that and create a little community of people who are just trying their best and trying to live in this amazingly beautiful yet crazy world that we all inhabit. So yeah, I think life recently has just really surprised me in that I'm now living almost 300 miles away from where I've lived for the past 7 years, which is a huge change. And that initially was, I want to say initially it was difficult, but actually I don't think it was. I think there have been more difficult things. It wasn't difficult. It was interesting. It was a transformation, but it was a transformation that I could deal with. I feel like I've gone on more inner transformations rather than physical ones that have led me into more difficult situations than this. I'm also really enjoying being closer to my family. They live close to where I'm living now with my partner, and so it's really nice to be able to spend more time with them. One of the things that I've really leaned on during this time of transition, and not just physically, like a lot of other things as well, is my journaling practice. That is something that I swear by, and I know that when I don't do it, my thoughts and the way that I interact with the world is vastly different to when I am journaling. It's the reason that I have the career that I have. It's the reason that I'm alive, because I was able to extract deep thoughts and deep pain from my soul onto a page that wasn't judging me, that wasn't shaming me, that had no opinion of my life. And that process of being able to see that and to give so much of myself to blank pieces of paper, it sounds so random, but it's so cathartic. I can't even describe the benefits that it gives you. There are scientific benefits, which I will talk about more in a different video, but for me, I have the lived experience of doing that, and I could tell you, it saved me, and it continues to save me, and it continues to be a really key component in my routine of living the most luxurious, happiest life that I can. There are so many other things that I also do on a daily basis to ground myself. I'm a very routine focused person. I love waking up at the same time. I love going to bed at the same time. I love reading a book before bed. I love going for a walk and stretching first thing in the morning. I love to meditate. I love to visualize. I love to dance and move my body. Those things are just like my daily spiritual practices that I hope that I will always get to do. Like, what a joy it is to wake up and go and be in nature and just like stare at the lake. Where I live now with my partner, there's this really nice lake that is a 2-minute walk from the flat, and just to be able to not use my phone and go and just walk around that lake every morning, it's really blissful. And because I moved from the seaside and I don't have the ocean anymore, just being so close to water is really healing. It's a really beautiful experience, and I get to witness it sometimes with my partner, because sometimes he works from home too, so he doesn't have to leave so early, so we can go and enjoy that together. And it's a really wholesome experience that we both get to do and we both really enjoy. And that's another thing I love about living with someone who is so similar to me in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways we are very different, but we are so similar in the way that we like to exist. For example, our routines and like reading. We both read a lot, and we both love exercising, going to the gym. We went to the gym together today. That was actually the first time I went to the gym in a really long time, and it was really nice to be able to share that experience as well. These upcoming videos are just going to be very wholesome, very ordinary, and this is another thing that I wanted to speak about actually, because I've had so many experiences in my life that are quite traumatic, with my drug and alcohol use, episodes of psychosis, suicide attempts and being in hospital, having 2 abortions, domestic abuse, and all of that kind of thing. Now that I am a completely different person and I don't do those things anymore, and I don't really want to keep talking about those things, I'm worried that when I now put content out into the world, are people going to find it boring? Or am I now boring because I'm so ordinary? And I've really had to battle against that, because I don't think that I am. But if I post something about my drug use or about something that happened to me that is quite tragic, that usually gets more likes than if I'm just posting about me with my iced latte. Not always, but that is another like mindset thing where I have to remind myself that I am still worth something, even if I want to talk about things that may be boring. I don't have to always extract my pain to get attention. That's another big one. I can rewrite my narrative as many times as I want to. And so this next era of my life is all about romance. It's all about being cozy. It's all about luxury, evolution, transformation, and just being a normal fucking human being. And I can't wait. I can't wait to give more of myself to you. I can't wait to give more into my own cup as well, so that I'm able to give more to you. And I just feel really excited for the next stage of my life and what's about to come, because I have no fucking idea. I just moved across the country and I wasn't expecting that. And I now have my own office space and I'm working full time as a freelance writer. Like, that's my career. If you would have said that to me 4 years ago, I would have been like, what? That's the dream. So come with me in my ordinary, basic, white bitch life. Drinking iced lattes, although I'm changing from iced lattes to matcha lattes because I think they're a bit more healthy. Let's see what this next chapter has in store for me.